Alright, so for the Feared, we're going to have to do several different bosses. Now, how do you get the Maven's Invitation to Feared? Now, this is supposed to be like kind of like one of the hardest things in the game, and for some builds, it can be the hardest. I think Maven is the hardest, though. However, to get the Feared Invitation, you can buy this off other players. It can drop. It's actually not a very expensive item, so if you don't have it and you want to do like what the hardest boss in the game is, you're just going to acquire it. It's like 5 to 10 Chaos Orbs. It's super cheap. A lot of people don't like doing it because it can be very challenging. But I would argue that it's much easier if you happen to have a build that can clear lots of stuff. But we're going to have to do all of these bosses right now. At the second, I have like the Shaper complete, so you'll see it's in the like white text. Everything else is grayed out. We got to do one at a time. We got to do all these bosses with, of course, the Maven activated. So we're going to have to check this one in. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is the Feared. Now, this boss fight is actually not too bad for some builds. For our build, it's okay. Anything that has like a large area clear, it's great. But if you're like single target focused, it can be very rough. So what we have to do is we have to do Maven must witness all of these things. We got to do Cortex, Chayula's Domain, the Alluring Abyss, the Shaper's Realm, the Absence of Value and Meaning. The first thing we're going to do is, obviously, we're going to do the Shaper. So what we need to do is basically all of those things, but we make sure that this is enabled. It makes the boss fights much more difficult, but we're going to go ahead and do it. It's the same exact mechanic. I'm just going to basically fast forward most of it, except for the newer stuff. Like, it's just Shaper, but he's a little bit harder because like Maven's there. I guess I'll show it off, but like I don't need to go through like the basics of the map where we kill the 4 bosses and then we like swap between. I'm just gonna cut it to like the boss fight, if that makes any sense. But we have to do all these with the Maven witnessing them. All right, now we gotta fight the Shaper. So we're kind of just fast forward again. There's like 4 bosses at the very beginning, just like before. Now we are at the Shaper, but now Maven's going to be joining the fight. So he's starting off with the Slam. But our DPS is really good. He's going to be doing the Beam. And then now we got the Maven Orb. So it can be a little bit more challenging. Again, visual clutter is a huge issue. It's a downside with minions, but the upsides are 100% worth it. Doing the Slam, we just move out of the way, woo, and then just Slam. And now we are teleported. So he's recovering now.
When I'm ready,
Go fast. Boss hide. The uncreated. And he's gone. And we go back. Let's see what he opens up with. So he's starting out with Beam. Slam now. Move out of the way.
resist the assault.
Thing coming out. We're just gonna pop it on the outside. It's a little bit dangerous to do this, but our build is good enough. Like I don't want to pop it in like the center, so that's why I did it that way. He's doing the Slam. Move out of the way of that. Beam. Okay, now we're teleported out again. Shaper and Elder I feel like are very chill. If you want to, you can fight like the Shaper and Elder at the same time and then have Maven do that. That will be significantly harder, and I want to give you guys like the video footage of like what someone would do for the very first time. Like I wouldn't want to make it like as hard as possible. You know, this was probably supposed to be the hardest boss fight. Like not Shaper, but like what we're trying to build up to, because it's like getting everything on the Atlas. And that's the goal. Ooh, he hit pretty hard over there. Alright, let's go.
Mortal flesh is so fallible.
Swing a slam. Go back in. Open up the portal. There's one of those little like things coming out. This thing's not really not that big of a deal, but these are definitely a big deal. Pop that on the outside. It's another one of those things coming. It's going to be a bunch of projectiles coming out. Whew. Let's move ASAP.
Resist the assault.
Oh, there's another one of those slams. Oh, there's the beam. The beam's usually not too bad. Got one of those like orbs chasing. I think we can just kind of burst him down. So we just slam. We're just trying to stay under him so we can get the brittle effect. There we go. We got the fragment of knowledge. We're gonna. Sometimes again, you can pick up some of these items if you want to. I usually just throw them in a tab for like 10 chaos. If there's any very specific ones like Titan gauntlets, that could be okay. Some of the claws can be okay. I don't remember all of them on top of my head, but there are certain ones that people do look for. But there we did it. We did Shaper with the Maven. And now if you have the Maven's Feeder, by the way, you can pick these up. They are like 5 chaos. Okay. You know, I probably should start. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the what's called the Alluring Abyss. Now, in order to get some of these parts, and I still actually do need one of the bottom right ones, you're just going to keep on doing the sacrifice at dusk, dawn, midnight, noon. You're going to grab all these pieces, and it's actually pretty easy to get these. You can get these as drops as you just kind of progress in the game. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably picked these up already, but they're not very expensive. I'm looking at the prices, all of these. Not really too many things that are really good off of it, other than there's Alluring Bounty, but it's really going to be these little pieces over here that can give you the House of Mirrors as a drop. That's actually worth something. But let's go ahead and go in. This is actually super easy. I feel like this fight has been super outdated. But one thing to note is you definitely want to have some chaos resistance. If you're not playing something that's like a minion based where something else deals the damage, or like a totem, the mechanics do reflect damage, so meaning you can one-shot yourself. So if you happen to have stuff that can make you immune to reflect or reducing the amount, those could all be excellent choices. But this fight is really easy as far as I remember. But you also want to be immune to corrupted blood, but I mean, what build doesn't want to be immune to corrupted blood? So there's just a few rooms. You're basically just using these monsters to build up your Vol summon skeletons, or if you're using any other Vol skill, it's kind of what this area is used for. There's actually multiple bosses. Coming up to the first one, which are the giant like guys that throw down like a slam attack. But most of the things are just outdated. It's very easy. I'm surprised they made this mechanic required for the Feared, but the Feared is supposed to be like all of like the super bosses, but I didn't show off this mechanic, so I'm gonna go ahead and show off. This is at Ziri. There's actually a pretty good flask that you can get. It's not useful for our build because we don't deal damage, but it can be good. Look at this, like we just rolled them. Like, again, it's very easy, but at least this way you guys will know how to defeat it. I'm gonna actually wait for the Vol stuff to come back up. We're gonna come up to these triple bosses. Now, one of them can do reflect damage to you based on the damage that you deal him. How there's like, this is like a 3-boss fight coming up, and on this triple boss fight, when you kill one, it will heal the other ones, and then anyone that survives, they'll become stronger. So depending on your build, you could consider killing certain ones last. But honestly, the fight is so easy, I just roll them. Like, I don't even really pay attention. So like, that one's dead, that one's dead. There should be one more. Oh, never mind. I didn't even see it. You see what I mean by this boss is pretty easy. But like, yeah, like I said, if you're doing the feared, you gotta do this. I figured to just show off everything again. Right now, we're just using this to charge up. Now, this is the next actual boss over here, which is at Siri. We're gonna fight the regular one, and then we'll fight the Uber one. But I want to show you guys at least how to get some of the things required to actually fight this boss. So important thing, if you deal the damage here, there is a phase where you will see a mirror on one of the, like, this boss splits up into 4. Another thing is that they can reflect curses. Okay, so right here they're going to summon a few of them. You want to look for the one that has the mirror, and you do not want to hit that one. In our case, we have minions, so the minions can hit them. We don't care about that at all. The minions actually, you can make the minions kind of force target, but pretty much stand outside of anything that looks like it'd be dangerous, specifically these red rings. But again, this fight should be very, very easy, and just like that, we will get them down. They'll go to a phase where you can't hit them. She'll summon a bunch of, like, things from these corpses, which is kind of nice. So you can refill your flasks and all that good stuff. I'm not sure if they made this boss fight easier. I haven't done it in like a really long time. Again, it's really like outclassed. Are we done? Okay, there we go. Oh, I guess since I thought this was Sniper's Mark counted as a curse. Maybe it doesn't reflect it. But I was pretty sure, at least at some point, I want to say it did. Oh, we got the flask that I was actually talking about. I actually like this flask. Is it useful for us? No. But the reason why it's good is you gain elemental and physical as extra chaos damage, and you get to leech that as life. It also gives you chaos resistance. Ours actually rolled not too bad. It's a 7/7, 8/8 would be perfect, but that's how you get some of these other parts. Obviously, it's random if they drop it, but you just keep on farming it. It's really easy. I mean, we did the whole thing in like basically 5 minutes, and I was kind of explaining it. So yeah, very, very easy. And so we're working towards getting the last piece over here, so we can keep on farming it. I'm just gonna go buy it, and then we're gonna go do it. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Uber at Siri. We're gonna have the Maven witness it, because that's the point of doing it. So let's go ahead and go on in. As far as I'm aware of, it's basically the same thing, but it's just like it's a little bit more difficult. All right, we are here. So this time I will actually throw up a portal just in case. This time Maven's here. So that red thing you want to actually be very careful with. That bleed actually does an insane amount. Maybe I'll get a couple life flasks. But it's okay. If we die, we'll know that this boss is actually kind of more of a challenge. Because usually, like, I just rolled this boss so hard. But I should try to at least, like, mention mechanics. So, again, it's the same thing as the other fight, as far as I'm aware of. And we got, like, slowed down right there because Maven is the thing. So don't stand inside those. They do damage. Okay. Next phase. So which one do we attack? Well, it doesn't really matter, because our minions are kind of going to do what they want to. So don't get touched by those. Let's see how our Animate Guardian is doing. Okay, cool. We are actually taking some bleed damage. Oh, our zombies died, actually. Summon our zombies again. Oh, we actually died right there. There's a lot of, like, projectiles are over there. So, if you want to, you can take some more life flasks. I think we can manage without it. It'll be my own personal challenge to do it without another flask. But I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. Because right now, like, losing XP sure sucks, but, like, if we're at 0 XP, well, there's not any XP to lose. I'd be more sad if the Animate Guardian died. But right now it's kind of like our breather period, so we can go. There's Maven like healing them up. But other than like the little like circles, I don't think she's really that dangerous. I mean, the reflect can be very dangerous again. You don't want to attack the one that's holding the mirror. So you can just look at this one that's throwing the spears. There's a lot of overlap on that one. Like, for example, this one has a lot of spears. Like, it's very easy to see that one. Like, when they're throwing the spears. you can maybe focus that one first. Okay. Let a couple things die, but that's okay. Oh, she's doing the minion phase again. I was hoping that we could attack her, but we actually melted her so fast. She already went into this phase. So she does it, I believe, at 75, 50, and 25% HP. Stuff going on. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff. You can see the Uber variant. Sometimes it can feel a little bit unfair because there's just literally so much that goes on. But that's why, of course, we got 6 portals. No problem. So I'm gonna try to make my minions attack this one in the bottom corner. And you could just use Convocation to kind of move your minions there. Ooh, that's a really big one. See, like how like there's just so much on the screen. Okay, so we got the mask. Not necessarily super rare, but as long as we got the Maven to witness it, we're good. But that is the Uber at Ziri boss fight. That one's much more difficult than the regular one, though. That's for sure. Alright, so let's go ahead and go and do the Cheerleader Breachstone. So you can acquire these by just doing the breach mechanic. That's where there's a little circle and it starts expanding. Cheerleader ones are, I want to say, still one of the more rare ones, like the Splinters. But after you get 100, you can get the Cheerleader's Breachstone. I just bought this. At the moment, it was 50 Chaos Orbs. But in terms of like what's valuable also here, just in case if you guys want to farm it, I guess the blue, green, and red dream are kind of useless. They were actually pretty cool before. I guess the charge breach zone, there's the pure breach zone that can be worth a little bit more, but for the most part, I wouldn't say that there's something super insane by doing this. In terms of a chase item, Skin of the Loyal, I think is a really cool item. It's used in a lot of really weird builds that I think is really cool with this mechanic called Ward. But anyways, let's go ahead and go in, make sure Maven's witnessing it. This fight is actually super easy. I didn't even actually learn the mechanics when I like fought it the first time. I just killed her. But yeah, really, really easy stuff. So once again, just like any breach, you go here, touch it. But this time we're going to be just going up. We actually have to wait for the breach to go up. But if we stand on the top over here, shouts at Path of Math for this, because I didn't even think about this. You actually can't get damaged if you're over here, because the monsters spawn inside, right? So that's like a good way to not die. And if you want to throw like a cast on death portal, because if you die here, you're probably just going to lose out on the time. But yeah, this is just super easy. Like, it's very rare that you'll die on this. But that was just like an interesting tip that another content creator mentioned that I didn't even think about. If you just stand here, you can't die, really, on the outside. Because again, the monsters would spawn on the inside. But I'm not really worried about that at all during this fight. Oh, but I guess if something does drop, then you gotta walk back down. But my loot filter is probably pretty strict right now. Almost nothing's gonna be popping up. But this is a really easy boss fight. All the drops go at the end. Oh, really? Oh, that's an update. Thank you for letting me know. That's actually a good tip. I guess maybe if you have an incubator and something could drop, right? Unless that also is something that would be changed. Or if you like empower them with a sentinel, maybe they would drop. I don't know. But that's actually a really nice update. I don't know when they updated that. That's good. I've always liked how Diablo did that in the rift system for the greater rifts. So you can like 100% focus on going for the kills. Okay, what do we get? Oh, nice. Okay, well. Flawless. Okay, cool. So there's some uniques. Nothing I would say that's like, oh my gosh, this is super good. This is a cool item. This is a great leveling item, but I don't see anything really good there. So in terms of this boss fight, the only thing you gotta really have is like chaos resistance. But like at this point, more than likely you'll have a bunch. So try not to touch the stones, they'll summon more things. But if you need flash charges, I guess. The spin to win move is something you gotta kind of look out for. Hey, we got the Blessing of Trigula. And that was it. So there we go. We have trailers witnessed by the Maven complete. So like I said, that boss fight is so easy. But let's go ahead and go in and do the Cortex, which is about like what? We paid 1.3 exalts for it, or you can get it off of, sometimes you can actually purchase it, I believe. I've gotten it as a roll before, but like if you need it with the Maven, since you can't like Maven something that rolls on Kyrak, it's kind of unfortunate. This is like the really expensive map. It drops, the best item I believe is still Bottled Faith, unless you get like, I guess there's these rings. But the rings are real RNG. I'm actually not sure how much they sell for unidentified, but yes, we're gonna have Maven witness it. Let's go on in.
I need more mana.
Some of our zombies, or go on in. So the only real important mechanic, other than like, yeah, don't get hit by any like the projectiles that come out. There's one boss that will suck you in, and when you let him suck you in, but then you move after. That's the key. But other than that, I would say this isn't like too bad of a fight. We're actually just gonna rush to the end, but you can do the map if you want to. I actually feel like a lot of times I can get like some exalted shards from it. But yeah, this is Cortex. And we're straight to the end. And I'll come back and do the map, and you probably should too if you want to. But, you know, I'll pick up anything that's you know, worth it on the way. There's some like cool different skins on a lot of the creatures here too. Maybe we got an ancient shard. Yeah, you can get exalt shards over there, which is quite nice. Oh, there's a lot of explosions happening right there. Let's move out of the way just a little bit. You can maybe remove your animate guardian if you're afraid of they would die. But yeah, let's go ahead and go in the portal. So this is like a multi-phase boss fight. But the bosses aren't very like powerful in terms of their HP. They are powerful in terms of their damage. Okay. So we got the golem. So with the golem, I like to stand behind him. He has like a little slam attack. A lot of this stuff is in like a cone shape. So we got the golem down. Oh, he usually summons these balls, and you want to stay far away from the balls because you can shoot the balls and they will explode in a circle around them. So this is the one that can do the sucky. So this one you want to be. So he's, yep. Well, he melted so fast. But if you get sucked in, he'll suck you in, and all you do is you just move. It's pretty easy. But these bosses are very easy in terms of their HP. The only real difficulty thing that can happen, there are some more advanced moves. Like there's a move where there's a giant spinning thing, and basically it starts from outside, and it's going to force you to go to the inside. But then once you're inside, you want to dash out. It's just kind of random if it's going to happen or not. And then last temp bubble, which is always no fun to play around with, but it's just a bunch of monsters that spawn in. And shock immunity is great here, but we are unaffected by shock, so it's another one of the golems. So we'll do that. So I'll use Vol Skeletons later. So let's see if he's doing a slam, so we're like, okay, it's kind of in like a V shape. Should just charge him up. Okay. We're good. That one starts from the center. That one, I felt like I don't know if I've ever died to that. But there are some more projectiles that can come out that are like yellow. Those ones are the more difficult ones, but I don't know if he's gonna do it. So we should be pretty much done after this. Oh, Maven witnessing it is gonna make the fight obviously more difficult. Okay. Okay, well at least we got something. I believe this is Nebulous, right? Alright. So, Nebulous is worth... sometimes it can be worth, depending on the rolls on it. It's usually, I believe, the implicits. So this one gave us attacks with his weapons penetrate. Let me see. There's no rolls with it. But like sometimes these can be worth like a little bit, but it's basically Bottled Faith and sometimes the rings. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the map. But that is Cortex Witness. We just got one more, and then we can do the ultimate fight called the Feared. Alrighty, so now we're gonna be doing the Elder. So we're gonna throw in all of those fragments, and let's go do it. And keep in mind, to get all these fragments, just like the way we did it before, we would just have to do those masks with like the Enslaver and like all of those ones that have the little like, it kind of looks like a little face though. But Eradication, like we gotta do all of those once again, and then we get all of the pieces. You could again buy these. These are a little bit more expensive though than the Shaper ones are cheaper. I guess these are like 15. Some of these aren't these. Oh, because for the Uber, that's a lot more expensive. Okay, there's like 15 each. So if you want to buy these, feel free to buy them, but you just have to enable the Maven Witness, and then you go in. And this fight over here is not too bad. I feel like Elder is probably the easiest out of all of like the bosses. Actually, most of them are pretty easy for like to get to the Feared. Go ahead and get him down. Remember, you want to stay in the donut. You can stay over here for a while, but once the donut pops, then you want to actually, okay, he's doing this little ability. You can see it's got like a little cone shape. Yeah, this fight is just so much easier. Oh, I can't move. Okay, well, that was unfortunate, but it's all good because we're playing softcore. So this is where it becomes a lot more difficult with the Maven enabled, but and you can see the orbit moves really slow, but you still don't want to get in it. And once we're able to do damage again, activate our Vol Summon Skeletons. It's a way to do DPS, but you just kill these portals, get some flash charges. Since our DPS is so high, this actually makes it so much faster. Alright, almost there. Yeah, for like single target builds, this can be a really rough thing to actually do. Jump the tentacles. I like how they're giving him vitality points. There we go. Oh, this one actually has a lot of invitations. Oh, okay, there we go. So we get Fragment of Emptiness, we got a wand. For a lot of these things you can pick up if they're influenced. There are certain roles that people do look for. I think we're almost out of room. But now that we got that done, we have that checked out. We got 3 more, and then we get to actually do the Fear, the ultimate boss fight. Alright. Let's go ahead and do it. We're finally doing the Fear. This is like one of the hardest things for PoE. So once you have everything witnessed, we can throw it in. I would recommend, if it's your first time, probably don't modify it. Don't make it too hard. Okay, we can roll it. I actually have on the modifier. Okay, so let's roll it to at least where there's like something that doesn't matter, right? Where it's like, let's say players have accuracy rating. That's like totally fine. Or like, yeah, elemental resistance would be like a thing. But if I can, I'm hoping for like monsters like blind on hit. I only have 33 of these. Okay, vulnerability, like blind on hit's totally fine. Let's see if we can throw in a augment over here. So you can modify these. Oh, that's not a good one. I don't want them to have more life because I just want to make sure we can do it. But if it's your first time, I wouldn't really roll with really anything that like matters, if that makes any sense. No less block. What do we have? We have like 20. Okay, Impale is not fun to deal with. Let's see. Left recovery rate. Reflect ally damage. I mean, power charge on hit. What is that for? I'd rather just roll it to be like, maybe we just roll the one with like blind. Okay, less accuracy. Okay, here we go. That's fine. I'm just gonna roll it with this because we want to make it like relatively easy. Ideally, yeah, you can roll like another mod. This thing is just, it takes so long to get up, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead. Okay. Oh, that's right. They changed blind. So blind, actually, it's fine. It's not really that big of a deal, but we'll just go ahead and go in. So lots of boss fights all at once. Okay, so watch out. So it's basically all the things that you did, but you gotta take them all in at once now. There's the Elder. I actually don't like Elder. So you can try to focus on what you want to eliminate first, but it's just, sometimes you can be put in these like impossible scenarios where like there's just too much. Oh, almost died right there. That was a close one. Oh, we don't want our enemy guardian to die. I'm going to convocation him. So, gotta watch out for that. Go up there. It's got a little dangerous. Some of those can be really big. I just don't want my animate guardian to die. Honestly, that's like one of my like big things, and I'm just like, I just don't want him to die. Because then I have to buy my stuff again. But if you keep your distance, honestly, it's not too bad. Just some of the bosses will have very long range, you know? But like for single target characters, I don't even know how people do this, man. It's like, that's an absolute nightmare. But since we can fill up our ball stuff very easily, that helps out. Got hit by the bleed. I'm gonna have both those pop over there if I can. It's really good to have like your sounds on for like, or not your sound on, but your like audio, like closed captioning, because it can tell you like when it says, you know, certain voice lines, you know that certain bosses are doing like their move, right? Well, we got really close to dying over there. But oh, we got hit by the Shaper. He did the slam. Sometimes there's just too many things up on screen. Don't worry if that happens. I try to pop these in the bottom so that it's going to be like our zone that we try not to go to. Doing slam. There's some degen over there. Let's get rid of Shaper so you can say like gaze into the abyss. So that one was actually not the text, but he's doing the slam. Oh, we lost all our zombies. That's no good. I tried to pop my flask over there, but we should be able to handle this one. Oh, our AG's getting low. We should probably resummon our zombies actually outside somewhere. Get the extra bonus damage, so this is going to go in, and then we're going to move out.
I need more mana.
We popped our flask. There we go. Let's see what we get from it. So now we got the favorite map slot. Let's see if we get anything good. We got 9 crescent splinters. Wow. That's pretty good, because that alone is... like, they're like, what are these worth right now? At least, this is 117k, so like 13 a piece. So that was a really good drop with that. We got Ruby Flask. This is actually a pretty good item as well. This is Dying Sun, and it's really good for any like bow-based characters. Let's see, is it still worth something? Oh, it's still worth like 10 chaos, so not too bad with that. We got Cyclopean Coil, another really awesome, unique item. Can make you like immune to like, you can't be frozen, shocked. Then we got this over here. And let's see. Got a Void Scepter. Alright, let's see what we get with this. We got 11 attributes, 6 to 15 fire damage, and 8 fire. Sometimes this can be worth something. And then we got this. Oh, okay. That's cool. It's +2 level of socketed Courage Gems. And then we have Orb of Unmaking, but that's basically our drops from there. Sometimes certain shaper items can be worth something, but if you made it this far, congratulations. That's as far as it for us in terms of the passives. I believe we're almost done. We could still do like more at Maven invites, but like in terms of like the difficulty, this is like the ultimate like hardest thing, and that one will unlock our very last favorite map slot. Now, if you do want to increase the difficulty and even do Uber versions of bosses, that technically is available. You can get some pretty cool things on the tree. If you want to just type in like bosses, you can find other ways to make the bosses even more difficult. But at this point, I did mention that if you want to do more Maven invitations, you can do that. There are other invitations that will grant you extra passives for the Atlas. A lot of times people won't do all of these by themselves. They may make a character build that is not capable of doing this, so you can actually hire people to do them for you, or if you are able to do them, you can actually sell your services and be like, hey, I'm going to do this, it's going to cost you 1 exalt, I'll go do the, whatever. So if you want to get all the passive points, now the gameplay that I showed you guys of the fear, that's most of the time for almost every single build, that's much more difficult than doing the other Maven invitations. The ones that I didn't feel like it's necessary to show you, because if you can complete the feared, it's basically going to be the same as doing these other invitations. There's a few of them, I've done all of them, so the build that I showed you guys is more than capable of doing everything. I just feel like it's almost pointless because it's the same kind of content at this point, where you have to have Maven witness like the Baron, all of the Conquerors, that's any map that has like this, or you can do the ones where you have to witness the Guardian, which is called the Formed. So you can just do all of these, and if you want to know which ones that you need to do, you can open up your map, and if you just highlight over some of the Maven invitations, you'll see all of mine have it in like bold, but if they're not like in bold, that means you have to do them. And if you mouse over them, the ones that are checked in, they'll be highlighted in white text. But that pretty much is going to be summing it up. We've done everything in Path of Exile that I wanted to show you guys, but I may upload some more videos later down the line. But for the most part, like, we got every single one of the maps, we got all of the void stones, so all of the maps are tier 16, and now you can just do whatever you want to do. Now, for some people, this is where the game actually starts. Now that they have like all the passive points, they can spec into whatever they want to spec. Here is my tree at the moment. Don't feel like you have to copy it, but it's just kind of there as a reference of like kind of what I'm doing personally. But feel free to slow it down or whatever. Again, the POB for the build was in like part 1, but I'll try to remember to also link it. But keep in mind, this is going to be for all builds, so keep upgrading your stuff. You have lots of different ways to upgrade your character. A lot of times you can get these lesser Eldritch Embers, or like even the greater ones, and you can start doing things on your gloves, your boots, whatever piece that you may need to upgrade for. Like right now, I can still get an upgrade of a massive amount of minion damage by start rolling certain Eldritch currency on it. So don't feel like the game is over. Play until where you feel like you've satisfied your build. The thing with PoE is it's almost infinitely scaling, which is cool because you can always get upgrades in PoE. But there's another thing you can do. You can actually get different things to modify your belt to give, well, in this case, this belt's not going to get extra like quality, so to speak, but that can be done through doing the labyrinth, getting different enchantments, as well as getting different quality stuff on your rings by doing certain things that are going to be using these little powder mechanics through metamorph. There's other ways to get like, maybe 2 or 3% more like of something, like extra resistance or extra like 2 to 3 life. But some people really want to min-max and get the perfect rolls on every single thing. Hey, by all means, go do that. But this is where I'm going to consider it pretty much complete for like a new player's beginner's guide. But I still will upload more videos in the future with PoE. Obviously, when the new league comes out, we'll be covering that. But this is basically everything done for the most part. We've completed all the maps. We got all the void stones. I showed you guys how to fight all the bosses. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and congratulations if you made it this far. A lot of people never make it this far, and that's because this game is very hard, but it is rewarding, and there's so much knowledge to distribute. But anyways, thanks for tuning, guys. If you guys enjoyed the entire playthrough and videos, drop a like on it. If you're new here and want to see more stuff in the future, definitely subscribe, and I'll definitely keep you guys up to date with newer action RPGs in the future. But take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!